Today, students, today I'll be showing you the demonstration for creating a fillable form and a poster, which is for your IT SBA section on Microsoft Word. So these are the instructions here, basically, for the fillable form, where we have to basically use these functions such as text boxes, check boxes, option buttons, drop down list, and date picker. So you could use any three at least, but you could go ahead and use more. Now, please don't let this stop you from using other functions to brighten up your fillable form, because, again, it's to brighten up your SBA submission. Remember, this is good for SBA. Okay? So an example of a fillable form is something like this. Now, it doesn't have to replicate this. You all can try and edit it, make it look a little better than this. This was just an example I got on the web to give you all a kind of a guidance on how the fillable form should look. Right? So I'm just going to show you how to get the text boxes, the date picker, let's just say the drop down listing and whatnot. Okay, so I'm going to go on a new document. So before you even start on the fillable form, you need to activate the developer tab. Now I have it here already because I already shown some of the strengths in the past, but to activate it is very simple. Now this is Office 365, so the other versions might be a bit different, but it should replicate the same instructions. Okay, so all I have to go to is the file tab. From the file tab, we're going to go on to more, and to more we go on to the options. When we reach the options, we go into the option of the customize ribbon. From the customize ribbon, you're going to go on to the main task here on this side and scroll down until you see the developer. Right, I missed it. Right, so this is the developer here. Make sure this box is checked in and hit OK. Once you do that, the developer tab should appear here. Now, the start of the fillable form is basically here, and these are the functions you all are going to be really using within this tab, not the others. Right, at this level, we are just going to do text boxes, check boxes, date pickers, etc., etc. So I'm just going to give it a nice little title. So I can put this in the header as fillable for my example. Alright, so I can put that to the first heading if I wanted to, so I can just bold this, center it, increase the size. Again, guys, you could go ahead and change up whatever you like on your document. Okay, now what are some things you will normally have in the fillable form for the students who are seeing at the moment? These are some of the things on the board that you will basically try to use. And remember, for the fillable form, it is used to give the persons who are going to attend the event to register them that if they are going to attend or not. Okay, so certain things that we can have are like our first name. All right, that's not how we spell first name, and the last name. All right, I'm just going to put the gender, age, let's just say the address, city. Alright, and I'm just going to put one more thing, which could be, let's just say, did I put date of birth already? No, so I can put date of birth. Right, so I know it looks a little, it doesn't look the best at the moment, but we are going to put the touch in now to actually make sure that it basically looks a little more presentable. So for the first name and last name, that could be a nice little text box that you will basically be using. So you could go in the control and put a text box here. Now there are two types of text box. We have the rich text box content control, and we have the plain text content control. So I'm just going to try both of them so you can see the differences between them. Right, and these are the two text boxes that you have here. For gender, since you only have male or female, we could just put male here and female here, and we could just basically put like some check boxes. So when persons are filling in the forms, they can basically use these things. Now you could change the style or resize them at your free time. Okay, I'm just showing you all how to add it, and you'll just do the other functions afterwards. For age, for this example, you could also put a text box here, but if you want to utilize another functions like the drop down box, like this here, which is the drop down list content control, and you want to put like a range or something, you could go ahead and do that. But what you need to basically do to enter the items, because it's not there at the moment, as you can see, you could go into the properties, give it a title. So I'm going to put this as range. and when you really need any tag, you could even change the color if you like. So again, you can mess around with those things if you want, but the important part is to actually add what's going to be on the list. So since we are dealing with teenagers, I'm going to put a range from 10 to 12. All right, I'm going to put 13 to 15. I'm going to put 16 to 18. All right, and a last one, let's just put 19 and up, or 19 plus or something. Right? And these are just going to indicate the ranges for your age. So as you do that, you can basically click OK, and you will see it appeared here now. Right? So you can make the person click. For the address, we can leave this as a text box because remember, person's address will be different. The number, which is the basic house number, and the area can be different. Right? So I can just put that as a simple text. So I will just leave that as a simple text box. For city, you could also do a drop down box here and just put a few cities. Right? But remember, it's 15 persons. So we want to try and see if you can set it. So I'll put this as the area, and for this here I'm going to add, so I'll put like Port of Spain. Point 14. It's a Paria as well. Alright, and I'm going to put Faisal. Now these are just some of the names that on the top of my head at the moment. You can put your different regions if you like. It's all up to you guys. Okay, I can hit OK, and from that hit OK, you would see the different cities. Okay, for the date of birth, now this is where you can basically use like a date picker, right, which is another function that you need to use. So you could go ahead and just click the date picker function that is on top of the control there. That's the bottom right. Once you do that, you allow you to just basically change the date. Now, the only mad thing or drawback of using this is that you have to go back from here, right? It used to have a function where it used to actually take down the years instead of, so you don't easily go back to a year. Because if you have to go back to something like 1990, 1980 something, that's going to be a lot. But just for ensuring that it works, you don't have to go all the way back. Right? Just go to like about a couple of years and just to show indication that it is functioning properly. Okay? And do I have any other things? Right. So again, these are just some of the functions that I use. You could go ahead and use this function as well. Right? But again, this is all that is needed for you to basically use to basically create the fillable form example. Now, you realize that I have a lot of space here still. So what are some things you could do? You can basically like separate it a bit more. Right? What you could also do, put some borders. You can put like a logo. All these things could be done. A watermark. Just put a watermark here quickly. Put it in the text watermark format, and I can put St. George's College. Right? And when you're choosing the watermark color, please let it be a dim color, because what does normally happen, if it's too thick or it's too visible, it will basically kind of crowd the text of the document. So make sure that this is light, that you can basically see like just like this one here. Right? So this is the watermark. Page color, again, if you could go ahead and put a page color, just make sure it's something that is easy for the text to read. And a page border could be something that you could basically do as well. I could put a shadow here, and I'm just going to choose a type. Okay, now there are just some other things you could do with your fillable form, but this is the main function, and that's basically it, done in about 2 or 5 minutes. Okay, so the next thing is the poster. So let's just look at the instructions one more time, so just make sure that we are on the same page. So we were able to use at least more than 3 of the different options, and it looks something similar to this as well, right? For the social media poster, this is basically like a flyer that you're going to create. Now, again, you could use Canva to get some ideas and just transfer it and just edit it from there. But a better thing that you could do is go on to new, go on to templates, and you can go in the flyer section here. So you see it has some options that you can start with. Okay, so you could use anyone. Since it's a simple event, you could go ahead and put something here. You could put a background color that's representing something pertaining to politics, right? So again, you could go ahead and use it. Okay, so just ensure that it is something that you can basically utilize here. And that's basically it, you know. So I'm just going to choose this one, right? I know this one kind of represents a party, but again, it's just to give you some information, right, on how we're actually going to use it. Right. So it's not a party invitation. It is, well, it is actually, right, political party invitation, right? So you can leave that there. What are some things you could also go ahead and do? All right. That's now just give me some time. Take some time to edit. Right. Sure, you're invited to not celebrate with us, but meet with us. So you could change things like dates here. So let's just say you want to put it to Sunday or something. And let's just say 21st. And let's just put November. Right? And it's to this year that you'd want to put it for. Street address. You can put the address if you like. So I'm just going to say, let's just say 10th Street or something. And you could enter instructions here, and you could put like name and contact. Like I could put my personal name and contact down here, and you're basically done. So once you have that there, that's basically it. It should look something like this, as you can see, right? I know the editing screen is basically looking a little foggy, but this is basically what it will look like. Now again, for background text and whatnot, you could go ahead and edit these things on this side here by the table. So certain things you could basically edit and change up, right? So you could go ahead and do that if you like. Right? And that was it on the demonstration. Now this is going to be uploaded on the Google Classroom, but I might put it on YouTube. So you'll get the link instead, and it will be there for you guys to basically use.